let's talk about Warhammer again. It's time to talk about Warhammer, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk about Warhammer. Now, when these things happen, right? When a company gets woke or whatever the case may be, what ends up happening? You always are going to get the websites that are most popular for that franchise, right? They are absolutely going to shill for whatever Games Workshop does. The reason why is because this website is one of the biggest websites that are currently available, if not the biggest, for Warhammer. And they're trying to maintain their access, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to maintain their access. So what do? Well, Warhammer 40K fan site attacks players as bigots for disliking female Adeptus Custodes. Boy, you motherfuckers roasted me before. Retcon. The website Bell of Lost Souls and writer Abe Apfel attacked Warhammer fans as bigots for disliking the Games Workshop retcon and subsequent gaslighting of the Adeptus Custodes. So it looks like they just took a playbook out of what? Disney, I suppose. Nexus Mods, all these other it's the same thing as Nexus Mods, same thing as all these other websites that desperately need mainstream access to stay afloat, right? That they're willing to attack everybody who disagrees with this. Now, there has been quite a lot happening with Warhammer lately, okay? There's been quite a lot happening with Warhammer lately. There was actually a story of a bunch of people canceling their subscriptions en masse, canceling their subscriptions left and right. I'll bring this up too as well, for the same exact reason. Now, they're going to call you bigots because that's the easiest thing for them to say. It's the easiest thing for them to say, right? But what's funny is that Bell of Lost Souls is going to call anybody who disagrees with female Custodes as bigots and misogynists and all that. But why didn't you call Games Workshop those names before? Why didn't you call Games Workshop those names? Why didn't you call them bigots? Why didn't you call them misogynists? Because up until now, not even till now, because I haven't seen one, there hasn't been a female Custodes. So because there isn't a female, wouldn't they be classified under those words too? Or is it just the people who are fighting against the obvious retcon? Because if you're going to say that we are bigots for not liking the fact that they retconned it, then surely they must be bigoted as well for not doing it in the first place. Surely they must be, right? Like, I mean, the logic there is connected, right? So, and it's the same thing with Nexus Mods, right? When Nexus Mods was banning people left and right for the mod that removed pride flags from Spider-Man 2, they were the first ones. Peace out, Leon. Have a good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. They were the first ones to virtue signal over it and say, we will not allow the pride flags to be removed from the game, as that is a violation and that's hate speech and that's this and that's that, and that goes against our beliefs of diversity and all that stuff, whatever, right? But then Insomniac Games literally did the same exact thing with their Middle Eastern version of the game, and Nexus Mods didn't say fuck all. Nexus Mods didn't say anything about the developer removing the pride flags. All of a sudden, the virtue signaling wasn't important. Why? Because you didn't want to get on the bad side of Insomniac Games. You wanted to maintain your access. It's the same thing here. It's the same exact thing here. You're upset over people complaining about the retcon, yet you never said a single word when there wasn't a female for decades. For decades. Where were you? If you felt so strongly about female Adeptus, where were you? You were nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, like they always are. So they're all just hypocrites, ladies and gentlemen. They're only saying this because this is the mainstream thing to say right now. If Games Workshop came out tomorrow and said, you know what, we're reverting the change. We're reverting the change. There is going to be no female Custodes. We're reverting it. This website would scrub everything and never mention it again. They will never even complain about there not being female Custodes anymore, because now it wouldn't even matter. Their virtue is only as consistent as whatever they're told at the time. It's just the truth, man. So now we have this. Well, fuck what they said. Let's bring this up. This goes into this as well. Numerous Warhammer players cancel their subscriptions and announce a boycott of Games Workshop after announcement of female Adeptus Custodes. I'm all for this. I'm all for this. We need this to be a thing. We need this to be a thing because you know what? People need to realize that these companies just don't give a fuck about you, right? Like the moment these companies go full DEI, you're not their target audience. They're chasing you know what they mean by modern audience? Do you know what these companies mean by modern audience? You know what the modern audience is? The modern audience is nobody. The modern audience is investors. That's what the modern audience is. That's what they mean. When they talk about modern audience, they're talking about making a game that's going to get investors. Making a game that's going to get investors interested, DEI investors, to give them money. That's what it's for. There's no such thing as a modern audience. There never has been, right? It's just code speak. It's code speak for investors. Yeah, we're making a game for modern audiences. That just basically means we're making a game so that we can try our best to get maximum DEI money. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all it fucking is. So when you hear modern audience, just remember exactly what it means. Because it is a bullshit sentiment. But apparently, people are canceling. You got this person here, Brother Bulwark Grimm, says, "Kiss my ass, Games Workshop. Not another penny." I love it. For those asking what happened, Games Workshop disrespected their lore by changing decades-old lore of the Custodes, only taking males from the highborn families of Terra to become Custodes, to now women can be Custodes now too, and they've totally always been a thing since the beginning. I think what it is too is people are not so like angry over the retcon. I mean, obviously the retcon is the thing, but people are more so angry over the fact that not only did you retcon it and change it, but then you lied. That's what it's about. That's what's really got people pissed. You lied about it. You gaslit people. You literally came out and said that, oh no, it was always a thing. You lied about it. That is the thing that pissed off people the most. That's what had people say, you know what? Fuck this shit. Because let's be real, man. A game that's this old, yeah, lore changes. It changes every now and then, but it does. Right? But for you to change the lore and then not admit that you changed it and just flat out lie about it, that's the worst. That's at that point you're going to lose the confidence of everybody, which I mean that's what we're seeing right now. This person says right there with you, I don't think I'll buy anything else from Games Workshop, and I'm not even sure if I want to keep anything anymore. That's what I was asking before. I was like, what do you, because again, I'm not invested in this, right? So I got to imagine the people who are heavily invested in this, who have spent thousands of dollars, what do you do with this shit? Do you keep it? Do you keep playing? Do you give it up like this guy is thinking about? Do you give it all up? This person says, I canceled mine too. I'm married with kids. This person said, I canceled my... Oh, that's the same person. This person says, Randy, I canceled mine and sending an email that I want a refund. If they decline, I will dispute it with the bank and have it charged back. I am not renewing my White Dwarf subscription, and I'm planning to do the new Imperium subscription, Combat Patrol, not now. This person, I've enjoyed this hobby since second as well. Long nights playing games with friends in the basement for years. I probably have models older than some of these people calling me a tourist. Yeah, sure. Now watch me leave with the money I would have spent on future stuff. This person too. And look, this person also, I mean, here's the greatest difference. You guys realize that when you have articles from companies like Kotaku, and I want you guys to pay attention to this stuff when you're reading this shit. When you have articles from companies like Kotaku, what do you notice, right? They'll say things like, oh yeah, fans are happy. Everybody loves this stuff. Everybody's all for this DEI stuff. Everybody's super excited for Fat Hephaestus in Hades 2. Everybody's excited about it, right? That's what they say. That's what they say. But then what proof? What proof did they give you? They give you one random tweet. One from an anime profile, one, right? And they say, yep, that's everybody. But then when people are upset and people are mad and they're actually canceling Warhammer subscriptions, you have like 8 or 10 tweets here. I'm sure there's more. You have actual receipts of a ton of people who are just like, you know what, I'm over it. And I'm sure if you go into the replies, you'll find way more. That's how you know this is the truth.